Welcome to Astute. I am your host, Austin Kyle. Thank you for joining me on this beautiful journey that we are about to take. This podcast will be about so many things. The reason we chose to title it Astute is because it's short for astute learner. I myself am an astute learner. I love learning, whether it's through experiences in life or reading books or watching videos or listening to people, or mentorship, mastermind groups, you name it. I'm always looking to learn. And I love learning. And more importantly than just learning for myself, I love learning and sharing and helping from others, sharing and helping with others, should I say. And I learn also by, watching and talking to those who came before me. And so with this being the first episode of the podcast, the very beginning, I could not think of a better place to start than the beginning of my own story, my own journey. As an entrepreneur, my very first business venture was a partnership. And there were so many lessons that I learned from that part of my life that I still apply to this day. Partnerships and people play a vital role in all our lives constantly. And especially in business, whether it's networking, partnerships, employees, customers, competitors, it doesn't matter. People play a vital role in every part of our lives. And so the title of this episode is Broken Partnerships in Business. And I share a story about my own journey, as I mentioned. And so, I hope that you enjoy it and that there's something you can gain from it. I would love to hear from you and hear what you think. And this episode is actually part one, because part one is the story and the lessons that I learned in that story. And part two, which is coming very, very soon, will be things that you can apply yourself in your own business and your own situations that may fix current issues that you may be having in business partnerships or prevent future issues that may come along, right? And so, again, I thank you for being here and don't want to waste any more of your time. So without further ado, here's the episode. One of the biggest issues I come across when I help business owners is partnership disagreements. There are so many other reasons a business can fail, and most businesses do fail. But I can't tell you how many times I've seen a business overcome all the obstacles that are in its way to become a thriving, successful business, only to be destroyed and torn down because two partners or three couldn't agree. And that's what we're going to talk about in today's episode. We're going to talk about partnerships. And if you are a solopreneur and you don't have a partner, stick around. You're still going to want to hear this. If you have a partner right now and you all aren't on the same page, or you feel as if things could be headed down the wrong path, we're going to show you how to fix that, how to correct it, and more importantly, how to prevent any future issues. And so if you have a partner and everything's good right now, you'll want to listen too, because we're going to show you how to make sure things stay good and stay in a good state between you two. Businesses need proper communication. And that's what's the most important part in partnerships is communication. I haven't experienced myself with a partnership going awry. You see, many of you may have heard this story, but if you haven't, you're going to enjoy it. It's a short one. But, when I first started in business, I was very, very young, around 18 and 19 years old. Fresh out of high school, I had a buddy of mine who decided he was going to start a window cleaning business. And an opportunity presented itself for me to join him, and so I did. And over the course of a summer, we built a thriving business. We weren't just doing window cleaning, but we had also expanded into commercial cleaning. And most of our business was B2B, right? It was business to business. We had very few residential jobs, but we did have some. And things were going well. And by the end of that summer, even though things were going well, when you have two young teenagers that have egos, egos can collide. What was impressive, though, is that neither one of us knew anything about business. We knew nothing. We didn't study any books. We just went out there and we just started and tried, man. And we made the mistakes and we took the bruises and the bumps. And we built it. We did it. However, as I stated, things kind of went awry.
We fell out over disagreements, and honestly, I can't even remember what it was all about. It was so long ago, and I'm sure he has his side of the story as I have mine, but it's irrelevant of why at this point. We're still good friends to this day. However, it did happen. And one of the main first lessons I learned was the importance of legal ownership. As silly as that sounds, but keep in mind, I was very young. He had started this business and I joined him. And when it was all said and done, I had put all this work in, all this sacrifice, and I had nothing to show for it. And so I found myself sitting at home at my parents' house, broke, depressed, and not knowing what I was going to do. I had nothing and nothing to show for what we had built. Meanwhile, I'm hearing how my partner is enjoying the fruits of our labors. Brand new car, brand new motorcycle, and one day my ex-partner, showed up at my parents' house on that brand new motorcycle I had been hearing about. It came after months of silence between us and said he wanted to try to make things right. And I'll always respect him for that. He felt like that he needed to do something. So he was willing to do some form of split between the clients or money or whatever it was, and wanted to see how we could make things right between us by going our separate ways, but not leaving me with nothing. Anyway, but it's funny, as we were sitting there having that conversation, in that very moment, as he was talking, something clicked for me. I realized I had been sitting there for months, as if I couldn't get up and do it again. See, I knew how much of a factor I had played in where that business was. And I could tell he knew it too. And that's why he was there in the first place. The value was not in the money that was made. The value was not in any of the clients that we had gotten. The value was in me. With all that I had learned, I knew I could do it again. Hell, this time I probably could do it even faster, I thought to myself. So in that very moment, I looked him in his eyes and I said, you can keep it all, except one thing, a phone number. And that phone number was to a man named Bernard. Bernard had been some sort of mentor towards us. He did contract work like cleaning and demolition and painting jobs. And so I called Bernard that night and I said, hey, Bernard, listen, I want to come and learn how to paint. I do it for free because I want to start a commercial painting business. And he said, okay, let's do it. And so I did just that. I went and did a few painting jobs with his crew for free just to learn. And in less than a month, I went from sitting on my mom's couch, not knowing what I was going to do, to actually starting a painting business with no money and having an $80,000 commercial contract all within 1 month. Over the next few years, I grew that painting business and went on to have multiple six-figure years and did pretty well. But I look back now at that situation and I see how silly it was. There were so many simple things we could have did to fix the issues that were at the table, whatever they may have been. But, that's life, right? You go through things and you learn. And as you get older and you mature and you become more wiser and have more knowledge, you know how to fix these problems. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. If you are currently in a situation where you and your partner are at odds with each other or not on the same page, we're going to help you figure out how you guys can do your best to fix it. And I'm going to be honest and blunt. Not all relationships are repairable. Sometimes you just need to go your separate ways, but you should put all your effort into trying to fix it before you make that decision. You can't make decisions in business based solely upon emotions. It's easy to get rattled and to get upset and to become angry and bitter towards your partner. And then you just want to throw everything out the window. You can't do that. You cannot do that. You have to use logic, reason, common sense, and apply some real tactical strategies to try to make things work. You have to give it your all. You have to overcome the odds if you're going to be successful in business. And as I said, knowing what I've learned over the years, I now see how things could have easily been fixed. And if you're in a similar situation or these things aren't perfect between you and your partner, I'm going to share with you some simple yet effective ways to make sure you both get on the same page.
All right, that was part one. Stay tuned for part two. subscribe now so that you don't miss it. We would love to hear your feedback. You can find me pretty much on all social media platforms at THE Austin Kyle, the Austin Kyle. I would love to hear your thoughts and any feedback that you may have. Again, please subscribe, leave us a review, and share this with someone. Anyone that you may think would benefit from it, share it with them and let them check the episode out as well. We greatly appreciate it. And until next time, peace.